So now let's talk about the Miami Dolphins and their free agency and all their moves in the offseason. They've been making some rather irrelevant trades or minor trades, not big blockbuster trades, but they made a couple trades with the Texans. And they do have a lot of capital in terms of moving around pieces. But the biggest question has been the Miami Dolphins in terms of what they're going to do at the quarterback position. Tua Tagovailoa had a rookie season that was up and down in terms of his productivity. And then Deshaun Watson is still there, and they also have a good draft pick. So there's a lot of questions in Miami, and Miami is a very desired destination because you look at that team, and that team could be a quarterback away from a Super Bowl in terms of their defense, their coach, everything else seems very solid. Geoff, what should the Miami Dolphins do at quarterback?
If they can get Deshaun Watson, 100% trade Tua, because Deshaun Watson is a generational talent. I mean, even if I think Tua's ceiling, I don't think it would be better than Deshaun Watson. And let's say if they're thinking about drafting, I think there's a chance that there isn't a chance, but they should consider drafting a quarterback because last year Tua looked subpar at best, right? And the quarterback is the most important position. Miami Dolphins have figured out everything else. The defense is great. Their weapons, if they get another wide receiver in free agency or maybe even a running back, they're going to be great at that position too. But if your quarterback is subpar, you're not going anywhere in the playoffs, especially when Josh Allen's in the same division. Maybe Deshaun Watson might be in the same division if the Jets trade for him, and Patrick Mahomes is in the same conference. And the end goal for every team should be to win the Super Bowl. And if you don't think that Tua isn't a good enough quarterback to win a Super Bowl, and if you think one of those prospects like Zach Wilson and Justin Fields are better than him, because the Miami Dolphins have seen how Tua plays in training camp, how he has seen him play in practices. They've seen Tua play more than any one of us. So if they think that Tua is a subpar quarterback, if they think that Zach Wilson is better, I think they should consider it because they're never going to have a top 3 pick again, right? The Miami Dolphins are a great team. They're going to be a 8 to 10 win team for the next few years. So this might be the last time they have a top 3 pick. And if if they don't think that their quarterback is great, there might be another Chicago Bears.
So it looks like Geoffrey is advising on a little bit of a risk in terms of drafting a quarterback, especially when you know what you have in Tua. I think we should give Tua a little more time because he hasn't gotten the proper opportunity. We don't know if he was fully recovered. There's a lot of things that go into your rookie season, and I think Tua needs a little bit more time. Kevin, where do you stand on the Tua issue and the Miami Dolphins at quarterback?
Yeah, I think a little bit of a risk is an understatement. That's a huge risk. First of all, first round quarterbacks are hit or miss a lot of the time. So what happens if this quarterback they pick, Zach Wilson, let's just say, turns out to be a bust? Then you have 2 busts on your roster. And not only that, you just gave away any type of championship window you could have had getting weapons or a better offensive line around Tua. I agree with you on Deshaun Watson. I mean, in any case, if Deshaun Watson is available, you go for Deshaun Watson. He is a generational talent, top 5 quarterback in the NFL. But no, I don't think they should ever consider drafting a quarterback in the draft unless it's like a really, really late round. Definitely not with your first round pick. You got to get weapons around Tua Tagovailoa. His receivers, other than Devontae Parker, who, by the way, he's like injured a lot. Who does he have? Not many people. I mean, Albert Wilson, they just refused to tender Isaiah Ford, so he's gone. They need more weapons. All right. Their defense is good. They need more weapons for Tua. And I don't know how Tua became so hated in the NFL. I mean, he's so hated that me, an LSU fan, is about to defend an Alabama player. Like, what? I mean, he was thrown in. By the way, think about the pressure. Pressure matters, and the context matters. So, for example, look at Justin Herbert, right? The team itself was just trash, so there's no pressure on Justin Herbert, so he can ball all day. Joe Burrow, no pressure. The Bengals are known to be a dumpster fire, at least right now. I mean, obviously, they can improve. But the Dolphins were playing very, very well. They're known to have a great defense, and he's thrown in when Ryan Fitzpatrick is playing well. So think about the pressure that Tua has, right? You have a quarterback who's playing well, who got benched for you. The entire fan base is questioning why that happened. The entire NFL is questioning why that happens. And so you have so much pressure to perform well with not that many weapons. What do you expect? I mean, he played only a few games. He can suck in his first year. It's his rookie year. He's a rookie. So I expect, I mean, I don't know if Tua's going to have a great career, but I think he needs to be given more time. And that's like the big thing in the NFL. There's not a lot of time, but people need to be a bit more patient. Look at Josh Allen, right? Josh Allen was written off as a bust, and the Bills front office was super smart to put weapons and a good offensive line to protect Josh Allen. The Dolphins need to do the same thing.
All right. Well, first of all, if the Dolphins do draft a quarterback, I think they should trade Tua because this is where Tua's value is at the highest. He can probably easily get a first round pick, and if not, probably a second round pick. And if he's on the trade market, I think the Saints should be a team that should definitely target him. And second of all, I know his weapons weren't great, but Devontae Parker is still a good wide receiver, and Ryan Fitzpatrick did much better than Tua did with the same weapons. And another thing, you bring up Josh Allen, how he got time and how he was able to develop. But then Josh Allen is an anomaly. He's an exception because almost every single quarterback that's drafted, like for every Josh Allen, there is a Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, Mitch Trubisky. Finding a great quarterback is very rare, and I mean, the chances are against Tua. I think Tua is more Josh Rosen than Josh Allen because the Bills never had a top three, top five pick, and you know, and Josh Allen, although he wasn't great, he still showed potential, and I didn't see much potential from Tua.
See, this is where I'm going to use your argument against you. You just said that finding good quarterbacks are very rare. So why take a chance on another quarterback when you have one you can develop in house? And also, you said that Tua can garner a first round pick, and you said the Saints should explore that. But we just talked about in the other segment that Jameis Winston should be a quarterback. So do you think Tua is better than Jameis? Because if he's not, then why should the Saints give up a first round pick for a project, right? So I don't think the Saints should explore that unless it was at a much cheaper price. And I don't know if Tua would get you a first round pick. I don't know if any team would do that right now, especially when they know that they had the leverage. Because if the Dolphins are the ones making the calls, they know that the Dolphins want to get rid of him. And also, Ryan Fitzpatrick played well, but he's also a seasoned veteran who usually plays well in the beginning of the year anyways. But I mean, he did play well throughout the entire season. But Ryan Fitzpatrick's seasoned veteran, so he's still a good quarterback. I still think he can lead like a Broncos team, maybe to like a wild card. But no, I mean, I think Tua just needs a lot more time in development. Just throwing him around is going to be another, like you said, Josh Rosen. Like we don't even know if Josh Rosen is really good or bad. Dude's been thrown around in so many different areas, and his career started off with Vance Joseph and the Cardinals. Who, I mean, that was like a rebuilding year. So, and then he got replaced the year after. So, I mean, unless there's like that Kyler Murray, right? Kyler Murray replaced Josh Rosen. In this case, I would only consider like Trevor Lawrence to replace Tua Tagovailoa.
I agree that there's definitely a risk in drafting a quarterback, but you've already seen what you got with Tua, and I think there's much more to see. I mean, there's much more potential if you draft a quarterback like Zach Wilson. You know what to expect, and he has a chance to be a great quarterback. And as for the Saints, um, I think Tua has more potential than Jameis Winston, but I don't think he's better than Jameis Winston. But I would take the risk on Tua if he's available.
Tua has more potential than Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston, who
Yes.
threw 5,000 yards, 30 touchdowns.
Who also threw 30 interceptions.
30 interceptions, but that can be fixed. Turnovers can be fixed. But he's shown you that he can throw for 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. That shows me a lot of potential.
I mean, but you never know. It might be an issue that's not fixed. He has had an interception issue in college. He's had an interception issue in the NFL. It still hasn't been fixed.
But what's Sean Payton good at? Bruce Arians' offense, the vertical offense, they had the most turnover-worthy plays in the NFL. Sean Payton's good at minimizing turnovers by having that short and intermediate attack. Obviously, he's probably going to utilize some vertical attack with Jameis Winston, but he's so good at minimizing that. And also, would you rather Tua Tagovailoa and some elite talent like a Devonta Smith or a Jamar Chase or a great offensive lineman, or would you rather have Zach Wilson and some future first-round pick when we don't even know who that would be?
I mean, there's nothing stopping them from getting wide receiver in free agency in such a good class. They could get someone like Kenny Galladay.
But that costs
And
so much money. Where they can use it in the offensive line.
I mean, I think their offensive line is good enough. I think they can draft an offensive lineman with another first round pick. They already have another. They have 2 first round picks already, so now they would have 3 first round picks. I don't know. I mean, if it was me, and if I think that Tua, I think there's another quarterback that's better than Tua, I would definitely consider drafting them.
All right. Well, one thing to note is that like the offensive coordinator could have switched his play calling based on Ryan Fitzpatrick being in the lineup or Tua being in the lineup. So Tua may not have had the necessary chance to even like perform, to throw, to open up the offense, to get those passing yards, and he didn't play the whole season. There's a lot of things to consider, but I'm just getting excited talking about these prospects in the draft. Jamar Chase, like if you think about it, Justin Jefferson was here on that LSU team. Jamar Chase was up here. So Justin Jefferson took the league by storm. I can't wait to see what Jamar Chase is going to do. And obviously Devontae Smith is a Heisman winner. We know what he will bring to the table in the NFL. I'm excited for our draft segment. We will see you soon. This was fun discussing Miami Dolphins free agency. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to our channel, the M2M Network, for more sports and entertainment content.